All right, hi all. Welcome to Diversified Finance. My name is Lakal. So today, this is the Zoom session, the Sunday Zoom session, where we're going to discuss gold, silver, and also we're going to look at the traditional share markets, and finally we'll go through Bitcoin price action and altcoins. So I'm sharing this on Facebook as well. So I welcome you all who's joining from Facebook, and also I welcome everyone who's joining via the Zoom link. Okay, so yeah, so as we discussed a few days ago, last week, we were expecting a Santa Claus rally, and we already got that. We've seen a bit of a bullishness, a short-term bullishness in the market. Bitcoin pumped from 45,000 all the way to about like 51,800 or so. And traditional markets, we've seen a lot of bullishness in the traditional markets as well. Not just Dow Jones, even the London share market, Australian share markets here also has gained a lot for the past past week or so. So let's call it a Santa Claus rally. So we've seen it already, but right now for Bitcoin we have seen a bit of a correction. So it could be a retest, just to go back and retest the support levels, or worse come to worse, it could drop below and go a lot further. This could happen, but we will go through Bitcoin price action towards the end. But first of all, let me just I would like to have a look at the US dollar. So whatever the US dollar does, it's inversely correlated to all the markets, including share markets, Bitcoin, gold, silver, likewise. So I think it's a good idea to have a look at the Dixie, what's dollar doing at the moment. So I'm going to share the dollar chart right now, US dollar chart. Okay, so let me just quickly find it out. Just give me a sec. Yeah, okay. So this is the US dollar, right? So as I mentioned earlier, when US dollar goes up, all the markets tend to go down, right? So what if we are expecting higher prices for traditional markets like share markets, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we want to see dollar goes down. So we don't want to see a strong US dollar, because that's not going to be good for any of the markets. So this is the 4-hour chart we're looking at right now. As you can see here, short term, it's kind of like consolidating at the moment, right? Even the RSI this is the 4-hour chart. So in the next 4 hours, this could change. This is the so one candle is like 4 hours. So we can see it's consolidating since 21st November 21st. It hasn't done much, right? And then we can see the RSI relative strength has gone down as well, and there is still a little bit of selling pressure for Dixie US dollar. So let's quickly look at the 1-day chart. Okay, so yeah, so still this is I'm guessing this is looking good for traditional markets and Bitcoin and gold and silver, because we're seeing US dollar, the strength RSI for US dollar has dropped to about like 50. I mean, if we are lucky, we would probably see it go back, down to about like 40, 30 level or so. If that happens, that means US dollar, like, this price action, there'll be like a bit of bearishness, short-term bearishness in the US dollar, meaning we might come back down to retest these levels. So we have a level somewhere over here, this level right here. Yeah, so this level right here, we might come back down to retest this level around like 94.5. So now it's at 96.0.6. So that's a good thing. We would like to see it comes down to retest this one. If not, let's say it might come all the way back down to this level. These levels right here. So either this this level right here, which is like 93. So it's a good thing. Like, I mean, we don't, as I said, this white box right here, this is like there's a lot of resistance for US dollar. So it's hard, it's struggling to break above this level, but we don't want to see it break above this level. And if it breaks above this level like that, and if it comes back to retest, and then it could go a lot higher. We don't want to see that. What we want to see, it get rejected, like, at this resistance line, and then come back down to probably this level, and then stay here for some time before going back up to break about this resistance line. So that's what we want to see. Yeah, so on the daily chart, RSI is looking good, meaning, like, looks like there's not much strength, like, probably it looks weaker. And if you look at the MACD, it's also looking good as well. So it looks like there's a lot of selling pressure for the US dollar as well, which is a good thing for all the markets, including Bitcoin and Ethereum and traditional markets and gold, silver as well. See, I would like to see US dollar comes back down to this level and then consolidate here for some time. That would give enough time for other markets, even for Bitcoin, to pump a lot higher. So this is the Dixie. And as I always mention, gold and silver, right? As a physical asset, I would love to have physical asset just in case, because everything is online. I discuss this every week, so I'm repeating myself actually. So as I mentioned earlier, everything's online: Bitcoin, gold, silver, share markets, everything's online. Your bank account is online. If something goes wrong, you would love to see, like, I would love to see some physical asset, like, in a locker or something, so I can quickly have access. Just go there, open up, and then I can, it could be like silver coins, I can, like, maybe barter or whatever, just in case, just to preserve wealth. So 10 to 15% allocation for precious metals, even 20% is not too bad. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, maybe 10-20%, no more than that. And other, maybe 30%, we can invest in the share market and see what it does, because share markets for the past, let's say, like, 50-60 years, even though we've seen like corrections, eventually it'll recover and it'll go back a lot higher. That's what we've seen during the COVID dump. COVID crashed, the market crashed, but now they're going a lot higher. So yeah, so it's better to have like a diversified asset portfolio, right? We don't want to put all our money into one asset class, because if that asset class drops like 50% or so, then we're going to lose 50% of our initial value. So yeah, so that's gold and silver, even the share market. So and that's that. And then one more thing, DCAing is very important. So whatever you buy right now, it could be shares, it could be gold and silver, it could be Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Whatever you buy right now, if you think it's a good buying opportunity, whatever you buy right now, we buy and hold it for long term. When it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, majority of your portfolio should be in Bitcoin, like maybe ideally 30-40%, other 20 to 30% in Ethereum, and the rest, maybe 20 to 30%, we can play with some altcoins, right? So because if Bitcoin drops further, we'll see a lot lower prices for altcoins, right? We are not too sure whether we're gonna, how long with this bearishness gonna continue, right? We've seen like a Santa Claus rally, but my question is that enough? So having said that, given that I've already discussed about traditional markets, and I'm not going to look at Dow Jones right now because today is Sunday, so maybe on Wednesday we can have a quick look at Dow Jones and Nasdaq and S&P 500. So let's quickly jump into Bitcoin chart. Okay. All right, so let me just get rid of all these lines for the moment. And just, okay, this is the daily chart. So we have seen, yeah, so as you guys are aware, we've seen like a bit of a correction from about 57,570 down to about 42 or so. And since then, you've seen a lot of extreme fear, a lot of bearishness in the market. People were scared. And then after a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or so, we've seen like a bit of a pump, right? So it just went all the way back up to about 51, 600, 700 or so. But right now, for yesterday and day before yesterday, we've seen a bit of a correction. It could be like a retest coming back to retest the support levels. What we can do here right now, I would suggest let's go back and check the previous correction, right? What happened during the previous correction? So we probably get a better idea by looking at that. I'm not expecting for it to be the similar case, but we can get a bit of an idea, like that it could be the same, it might not, but we can get a bit of idea. So in May, we remember it was Bitcoin used to be around like 60K, and then we had a 50% correction back down to like 30K. And since then, I think I discussed this last Sunday or so. It dropped down to about like 29,000, about 30K or so. And it was consolidating for like a week or two. And then it came back down closer to 30K. And then we've seen, since then, we've seen like about 34% pump from this low right here, right? So there's a pump from this low back up to this level. So, but even after like a 33% pump, there was a bit of a correction, and then it went down below, and then it went below actually 30,000 or so, right? And then it dropped all the way back down to 29 before we saw a bigger pump towards like 52K from 29K or so. So I'm not expecting the same thing to happen exactly the way it has panned out, like like in the day in May, but it could be something similar, right? That's what I believe. So these are I know there's so many lines, I'll just go through them one by one. So right now we were somewhere over here around like 45,500, and then we've seen like a pump, right? And then there's resistance around 49,500. It dropped back below, came back up, and then went through 49,500, went all the way back up to next resistance level, which is 51,000, about 51,800, 900 or so, got rejected. Now it's kind of like, coming back down, probably to retest 49,500. So that's what I believe. It's coming back down to 49,500. I would like to see it consolidate about this level. I don't want to see it drops below, and then if it breaks that, there's a chance that it could break this one as well. And then if that happens, we are back in square one, right? So if it comes around this area, if it drops back to this area right here, then it's a bit of a problem. So it's as if nothing happened. Yeah, so, but let's not forget we have about like 5 days to go. So as I mentioned earlier, still in US, this is the end of financial year for them, so there's a lot of selling pressure. And we've seen online on-chain data that Chinese people are selling as well. There's a lot of Chinese people are selling, probably due to Evergrande default. So there are a lot of people like panicking over there and taking money out of the markets, not just the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, from most of the markets. So we have these two scenarios, like playing out at the same right now, and it could be a reason why we still seeing like a little bit of bearishness. So we have to wait and see. And even during this pump I mentioned, I'm not going to be overly bullish until I see Bitcoin above 53,000, right? We need to get back above 53,000, for us to be like, really excited and be bullish. So until then, we have to wait and see what would happen. Yeah, so we have about 5 days to go until we finish the monthly candle for December. Even right now, it's holding up. The price is holding up really well. So let's see what will happen in the coming couple of days or so. But I would like to see it comes back and retests around above 49,500 for some time, and then we'll probably have more firepower to break above, like, these two levels, which is like 50,700, 750, and then especially above 52k, right? These are resistance line at the moment. So that's the bullish case scenario. Bearish case scenario, it'll probably break below these levels and come back. It could come back down to this level, right? We don't want to see that. But if it comes here, then there's higher probability that it might break this level and could go further back down to like 42k to retest this level, similar to what we've seen during May when we saw like a 50% correction. It could happen as well, right? This could be like a bull trap, right? It looked as if it's going to go a lot higher, but it trapped a lot of people, especially this candle right here. This is like a doji candle, right? Let me just get rid of this. Yeah, this candle right here, this candle, right? A small body and then like, large, like, bigger wick from the top and from the bottom. This is like more like a trend reversal pattern, and that's exactly what we have seen. Like, we have like a couple of days now, price went down. So, but I want to see it stay above 49,500. Then we probably see a lot higher prices. If it's not going to drop below 49,500 by January or so. Yeah, that's that. And then RSI went all the way back up to, on the daily chart, 50. And now it's 50-50. It could go either a lot higher, or it could come back down and then go back into like, oversold levels. This could happen. And MACD, it's kind of, we've seen like a MACD cross. It pumped, and then now we've seen like a bit of weakness on the MACD. So we have to wait and see. I would like to see Bitcoin stay above 49,500. If not, it could drop lower, and it could retest 42k, right? So this is Bitcoin price action. So we can quickly have a look at Ethereum as well. Compared to Bitcoin, Ethereum is holding up really well. As I mentioned many times, January, if you look at the seasonality, January is a pretty good month for Ethereum. So hopefully, if Bitcoin pumps a lot higher, we'll see Ethereum do really well. Like, if you look at Ethereum against BTC chart, Ethereum is looking really strong compared to BTC. But as long as if Bitcoin goes down a lot, we might see a lot of weakness from Ethereum as well. Unless if Bitcoin goes a lot higher and then say about 52k, and if it holds there in the month of January, there's a high chance that we might see a lot higher prices for Ethereum. And if you like, to give you guys like, my opinion on this cycle, I still believe the cycle has lengthened. Yeah, so Q1, end of Q1, it could go all the way to Q2, right? So there's a chance that we might not see all-time highs for Bitcoin until probably end of March or so. So even if we see that, who knows, like, we might not see 100k, it might go up to only like 90k or so, or 95k, and drop a lot lower. So we cannot get overly bullish or overly bearish. Like, we'll see what happens in a couple of days time. As I mentioned, during these levels, I accumulated a lot of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins. Did not buy anything during like, last few days or so, last week. Did not add much because I'm quite happy with what I bought. Just in case, I'm just like, still have a bit of USDC just in case if it comes a lot lower, so we can accumulate for long term. So that's what I'm doing right now. And yeah, so these altcoins, SLP, let's not, I actually don't want to discuss too much. I don't want to go into all coins right now because we are not too sure what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin drops, all coins will drop a lot over. And QNT, SLP, Metaverse tokens, Hero AI, Block, hold all these coins, even Radio Kaka, I hold this coin as well. SHIB, I'll hold a lot of SHIB as well. Also large cap, Link, Dot, XRP, I hold these ones. So if Bitcoin goes up a lot higher, we'll see a lot higher prices for large cap, mid cap, and for low to micro cap as well. So a lot of coins been pumping recently, given that Bitcoin just dropped a bit, we've seen a bit of red, 1 to 2% down. But for example, Telcoin, I mentioned a few times that this is what I'm buying. I'm holding this coin for long term. And if you look at the chart, this one is looking good. So I added some below 0.0. I added a lot below 1 cent. I've been buying it since 0.02 cents. So I doubled my holdings during when we seen extreme fear. And this one looking good at the moment, but again, it depends on what Bitcoin does. MACD is looking good, so MACD is, we can see a lot of bullishness in MACD. RSI is not too bad, could pump, but it really depends. These coins will pump a lot higher as long as Bitcoin is not going to drop so much, right? As long as Bitcoin stays up there, about 53K, 55K or whatever, or if it's trying to go and retest 60K level, we'll see a lot higher prices. But again, if it goes back down below 45 towards 42K, these coins will bleed a lot harder. So we got to be careful with all coins. That's why I always mention 70% should be in Bitcoin and Ethereum, just in case if the market goes down. So you're not going to lose your portfolio, like paper value, not going to go down so much. So that's very important. Even SLP, I hold a lot of SLP as well. I'm expecting this coin to go to about 10 cents or so. Even Cont, I hold a lot of Cont. As I mentioned, the coin supply is really low. It was less scarce than BTC, less coin supply. So Cont could pump a lot quicker when Bitcoin recovers. Yeah, so it's always this there's this fact it depends on what Bitcoin does, unfortunately. So Metaverse tokens, Hero AI, Block, right? I hold these coins as well. If you want to buy these coins, no financial advice, you have to go and buy them on KuCoin. So this is the exchange you can buy them. You can't find them on Binance at the moment. In the future, it might change. Okay, so let me just check whether do you guys have any questions? If you have any questions, I can answer. Oh, let me just check. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can kindly ask now. I'll just quickly go on Facebook and see whether whether they have any questions on Facebook. Just give me a sec. Meanwhile, if anyone has any questions, you can kindly ask. Okay, so it looks like there's a XRP fan. Okay, let me quickly look at XRP. As I mentioned, it all depends on what Bitcoin does. Yeah, we've seen a bit of a recovery for XRP recently. As soon as Bitcoin started recovering, we've seen a recovery for XRP as well. It dropped to about 60 cents and it came back all the way back up to $1, so which is really good, right? So it pumped by 40 cents, but now it has gone back below the daily moving average. So this white line is a daily moving average. So there's a lot of resistance here. So it break above, but it did not hold it as support. So it break below, now is below 200-day moving average. So So it has done it like twice. It done the same thing over here and done the same thing back again. Yeah, it's all depends on what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin is gonna pump a lot higher, we'll see a lot higher prices of XRP. There's no doubt about that. And as I mentioned, see, given that Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of struggling, maybe on FTX, we can add some Bitcoin bull and Ethereum bull. No financial advice. These are highly leveraged tokens. If Bitcoin drops further, you could lose all your money, right? If Bitcoin drops 20%, you'll see probably 70-80% drop for bull tokens. So you got to be very careful. Don't put money, like just invest money in there or trade money that you could afford to lose, right? I'm not expecting anyone to put more than like 50 to 100 bucks or so, because we don't know what would happen. Yeah, so we can go through all these all coins, but let's not forget it depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin drops below, these all coins will not survive. Even Cardano is a large cap token, and it's like dropped to 120. Now it's at somewhere near 143. These are really good large cap token. WET, another one, like we can accumulate this one for long term. As you can see, it's below 200-day moving average. So we have to wait and see what Bitcoin does. As long as Bitcoin is above 52K or it's heading towards 52K, things will be bullish, and then we'll see a lot higher prices for all coins as well. Okay, so yeah, Matic has gone up a lot. Like yeah, it's looking very strong. But this is the daily chart. So it has all-time highs. So let me just zoom out a bit. Yeah, so it broke above, like it is above all-time highs right now. So again, it depends on what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin is not going to drop so much, we'll probably see it go a lot higher, come back, retest this level, and then go a lot higher. So Matic has hit, like this is the all-time highs for Matic. So yeah, some all coins just ignoring what Bitcoin does. They're just pumping regardless of what Bitcoin does. But this is where, I mean, this might not last long if we see Bitcoin drop below like 45K towards like if Bitcoin's heading towards 42K, we will see a lot of weakness or even on Matic as well. Because I can't remember seeing one altcoin just keep on pumping a lot higher when Bitcoin's going down. I've never seen it. So we had to go by that. Yeah, so these Matic, these are like large cap tokens. I think they pumped a lot, and they're still pumping. And yeah, I think yeah. So in conclusion, we have to wait and see what Bitcoin does. Right now, it's at 49,900, which is not a bad place to be. As long as it's above 49,500, things are looking good. So we just have another 5 more days. I think this month of December, given as I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are selling because it's a end of financial year for US for profit. So yeah, we just want to see. We'll see up expecting to see a lot higher prices for Bitcoin in January, and especially for Ethereum as well. So let's wait and see. If it drops lower, if Bitcoin drops like back down to like 30K, I'm quite happy to add more to my portfolio, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some more coins as well. So it's 50-50. Let's wait and see. But I have a feeling first quarter, like especially January, would be good for Ethereum and for Bitcoin as well. So we have to wait and see. So I mean, that's it from my end. Unless you have any questions. Okay, so Tron. Yeah, again, it depends on what Bitcoin does, but yeah, Tron, I mean, yeah, so when Bitcoin hit 59,000, 65K, it just pumped all the way to 18 cents or so, and since then it dropped back down to like 4 cents, back about 12 cents, and yeah, again a double top, and it has come down. Now RSI wise, yeah, it's not a bad, it's probably could be a buying opportunity, right? So because RSI is not so high on the daily chart, but MACD, there's a green MACD cross, so this is looking good. Yeah, so it has to go above this white line, which is about 86 cents US. This is in US. So I would like to see a break above, 8.6 US, and then it needs to break above 12 cents for us to see a lot higher prices. That's the update on that. So right now it's around like 8 cents. Again, because this is an old coin, it's an old coin, so it depends on what Bitcoin does. If we see a lot higher prices for Bitcoin, this coin could pump a lot higher. We might see a lot higher prices for Tron. Especially this is like a competitor for Ethereum. So given that Ethereum fees are so high, like if you wanna like send say ERC20 token on Ethereum layer to a wallet, it costs you like $50, $40 likewise. But when that happens, Tron layer, you can send coins like for like a very low fee. So yeah, if Ethereum, if you see higher fees for Ethereum, that could be like a good opportunity for people to use it, Tron. So if that happens, we'll see a lot of demand for Tron, as long as Bitcoin is not going to drop to retest lower prices. If Bitcoin here is going to stay above 52, 53K, yeah, for this one, we'll see a lot higher prices too. So this is not a, even right now, it's not a bad time to accumulate. It would have been better to accumulate it around like 5 cents. But having said that, hasn't gone up much higher. It's at 8 cents. So if you bought it like recently, you can just hold it and then see what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin pumps a lot higher, yes, of course, we'll see a lot higher prices for Tron as well. It's been there for like more than 4 or 5 years now. So it's a pretty established coin. And a lot of people use Tron chain especially because on Ethereum layer it costs you a lot of money like for fees. So this is you can buy and hold it for long term, but again make sure you always have Bitcoin and Ethereum on your portfolio. This is an altcoin, so I'll give more priority for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then like 70% of your portfolio in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then I wouldn't mind accumulating altcoins like Tron or SLP or other altcoins for long term. So I hope that is enough. Yeah. So any other questions? Any other coins you want me to look at? Okay, so let's wait and see for a couple of 3-4 days, and then we're gonna have another Zoom session on Wednesday just for Bitcoin and altcoins only Zoom session. So we probably have a better idea by then. So yeah, if that's the case, if you guys don't have any questions, let's call it a day. I appreciate your participation, and I talk to you on next Wednesday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lakav.
Thank you then. See you. Bye.
Bye.